The weather outlook indicates that my name is David Gikungu, currently serving as Director, Kenya Meteorological Services. Yes, we've just issued the statement on the weather for the coming season, October, November, December 2024. We issue it early because it serves as an early warning for all users. We are happy to provide this at the end of August so that farmers and other users have sufficient time within the entire month of September to make arrangements for the weather is not directly conforming to what we have historically. And that is why we are also talking about climate change. I think in this kind of talk, the only thing that remains is the movement of the earth around the sun. That is what seems to be following the patterns that we know of old. The frequency of certain weather outcomes, what we call weather and climate, we do not have patterns that follow the records as we have them in climatology. But we operate under the guidance of the World Meteorological Organization, and that guidance leads us to use the period 1991 up to 2020. That is a 30-year period. And so when we talk about average, we are referring to that period for our averages. So when we say that we expect depressed rainfall, we are comparing that with what we have recorded, and that is what we refer to as climatology. I hope that is useful background as we now talk about the weather forecast or prediction as we have issued this morning. The weather outlook indicates that the western parts of Kenya, where we have counties like Kisii, Kisumu, Kericho, Kakamega, all of those counties in the western region, and extending a little bit to the central parts of the Rift Valley, we are expecting that that region will receive normal rainfall with a tendency towards above normal. I think we have understood what we mean by normal. Normal as it compares to climatology as described. However, as you move towards the east, we are expecting that the story is likely to change in the counties like Nairobi, Nyeri, Nyandarua, parts of Laikipia, Murang'a, Kiambu, and a bit of the southern lowlands. We expect that the situation will be normal with a tendency to below normal as you compare to the average. As you move towards the east, where we have the coast and the other coastal counties that also touch on, let's say, Tana River, and you have other counties like, Mombasa, Lamu, Kilifi, and Kwale, and the coastal part of Tana River. In that zone, we are expecting depressed rainfall. In that, the tendency is below normal to about to normal. That is the tendency, and that is the picture as you move from the western parts of the country towards the east and even touching on the coast. However, in these places where we are expecting depressed rainfall or rainfall that is below what we call average, once in a while we expect there will be a storm. A storm does not necessarily cover the entire country. It's highly localized. And those are the times that we like talking about the weatherman being a liar, because it may be so heavy that it doesn't quite conform with the forecast as issued. In the same way, we'll have, even in those places where we have given a forecast for rainfall that tends to, that is conforms to the normal, even with a tendency to above normal. The season may have periods where you do not have rainfall for some time. That's what we, in the statement, we are referring to as dry spells. Yeah, that should also not be a time to start labeling us that somebody lied. The thing is, it's all in the forecast. Those are the systems. And we have advised also that we use the statement that we have issued along with the short-term forecasts, because that is the way to go. The shorter the period of the forecast, the higher the accuracy. But you will get accurate, in general, you'll get accurate forecasts as required. I believe that is what there is to say. And I have largely talked about rainfall. In terms of temperature, we are expecting that temperatures will be normal with a tendency towards above normal.
One, which zone does Nakuru lie? And number two, in the areas where we are expected to receive rainfall above normal, are we going also to experience things like floods and all that?
Nakuru is in the Rift Valley, and it is in the central part of the Rift Valley. It is often grouped with the highlands west of the Rift Valley. And if you noticed in the forecast, we are kind of splitting it because of the coverage that the zones show. Because when we talk about Nakuru, it may not be the entire Nakuru at the same time. I hope that is useful.
For the areas that are expected to receive above normal rainfall,
Yeah.
should we also expect things like flooding?
Not necessarily. The zones that where we expect high rainfall are fairly high grounds, but you find that in their vicinity are also lowlands, as the water makes its way towards the lake, especially Lake Victoria. So you will find that places that are occupied, they may be affected by excess water, but it is not like what we had during the long rains. Yeah, there are a lot of places that are close to our lakes where we ought not to have population living there, and the fact that the places get flooded doesn't necessarily mean that we have above normal rainfall. It's just that somebody is occupying the waterway.
Naitwa Jane Jerry Ruben, nafanya na Wizara ya Kilimo na Mifugo katika kitengo cha tabia nchi ama Climate Change Unit. Tuko hapa katika hii hafla ya weather forecast ama utabiri wa hali ya hewa, kujadiliana namna venye wakulima wanaweza kujikimu ama kujipanga katika ukulima wao. Hasa ni mawaidha gani tunaweza wapatia kama Wizara ya Kilimo. Yeah, from the information that from the forecast that we have received from the Kenya Meteorological Department, we will have basically two scenarios, ama tungekuwa na aina mbili tofauti. Kuna mahali western watakuwa na mvua ya kutosha na hata ikue zaidi, that is yenye huwa tunasema inaweza kuwa above normal. Yani ile kitengo wanapata inaweza kuwa zaidi ya hiyo. Na pande ya eastern ndio tunaongelea mambo na mahali kama Machakos kwenda hivyo mpaka coast, watapata mvua yenye imepungua kiasi, kupungua kwa kulingana na ile kiasi huwa wanapata kawaida, itakuwa imepungua. I'm going to talk about the impacts of the western region. The western region watakuwa na maji ya kutosha, na hii inatupatia nafasi ya kuweza kuvuna yale maji. Itakuwa na nafasi ya kuwa na mazao ya kutosha, na ile mazao wanaweza kuvuna na kufanya biashara nayo, na wanaweza hata kuhifadhi. Vile vile inatupatia nafasi ya kuhifadhi maji, ya kuhifadhi udongo, na vile vile inatupatia nafasi ya kuweza kufanya biashara kwa urahisi ama kupatikana kwa chakula katika hiyo eneo ya western. Watakuwa wanaweza kufanya biashara kirahisi kwa sababu watakuwa na chakula ya kutosha. Ile mradi tu wapande wakati wenye tu wameagiziwa, na wapande mbegu yenye wameagiziwa. Kama ni ng'ombe na mbuzi pengine zenye wanaweza kusync production, ndio kwa sababu sasa watakuwa na lishe ya kutosha ya hii mifugo. So katika ile hali watakuwa na wingi wa chakula, na kwa hivyo tunaona biashara ya kilimo itanoga katika hiyo eneo. Katika madhara yenye inaweza patikana hapo western ama hiyo eneo ya western, itakuwa pengine ni mafuriko, kwenye tuko na mabonde haswa yenye tunazitaka flood plains, na ile tunaomba pengine wakulima wanaweza kujikimu na wasifanye biashara kubwa kale kando ya mito, that is riparian areas. Wasifanye kilimo kubwa kwa kwale flood plains, kwa sababu kuna uwezekano yanaweza kupata mafuriko, na ili hali watapata riziki yao. Agriculture is specific, and that's why I've talked of the two regions. So we have a scenario where we have enhanced rainfall. That is the western region. So I had just gone through the western region, what is expected. The impact, the positive impact that I've talked about, that it will be bountiful and the opportunities in it, especially for conservation of water, conservation of feed, that is fodder for animals, conservation of food for human consumption, and an opportunity for business for the same. It is also an opportunity to put our infrastructure, that is especially the water system infrastructure in place, and the water reservoir and all that. So in preparation for the same, such that we desilt our dams, our reservoir and all that. So basically that is western. And the eastern region, then there will be kind of a declined performance, agricultural performance, because of the depressed rainfall. So what is expected is that the advisory goes that you plant short-term crops. You also, for that is for pasture, if the farmers are doing pasture, reseeding, they also prepare to be able to conserve what they have. They can take advantage of the season we have in place right now, because we have bountiful in most of the areas of the county, so they can conserve what they have to be able to make up for the time of deficit, and also maybe also make a negotiation between the counties in the western and the eastern region to make to cater for the gaps, especially so for the agricultural commodity that will not be in abundance in the eastern region. So basically also it will be an opportunity for the eastern region to be able to kind of maintain their water system, such as the irrigation, the reservoirs for harvesting, and also be able to make business, because there's no the declined performance will provide business for the farmers who have put systems in place. For example, if farmers are irrigating, whether they or if they have conserved fodder, then this will be they will have enhanced business, and maybe at a higher price, because this will be limited in the O&D season that is coming.